Hello NCAC Nation and welcome back to another edition of The Rundown. On this week's show, we'll catch up on what's trending from around the North Coast Athletic Conference for the week ending on Sunday, February the 15th. We'll open this week's show on the indoor track and field circuit as a pair of Oberlin distance runners posted record-setting performances last weekend at Boston University's Valentine Invitational. Junior Gino Arthur collected the men's weekly award for distance and middle distance events after he shattered the school record in the 5,000 meter run with a converted time of 14:33:01, which currently ranks as the sixth fastest time in Division III to date. And on the women's side, Oberlin senior Carrie Lyons earned the weekly award for distance events as well after she posted the 12th best time to date in Division III in the 1 mile run with a converted time of 5:02:25. And the Ohio-based NCAC track and field squads were also in action last weekend at the annual Division III All-Ohio Championships hosted by Otterbein in Westerville, Ohio. Ohio Wesleyan led the NCAC contingent at the event by finishing second in both the men's and women's standings with 127 points and 111 points, respectively. NCAC indoor track and field squads will be back in action this weekend, led by Oberlin competing at the Greater Cleveland Championships on Friday at Baldwin Wallace, and Kenyon hosting numerous league teams on Saturday for its annual Kenyon Classic. And we'll now head over to the basketball arenas as we have reached the final week of the 2014-15 regular season. At 15-0 in league play, DePaul has clinched its fourth straight NCAC women's basketball title and the top seed in the upcoming NCAC women's basketball tournament for the fourth year in a row. With numerous tight races still remaining in the women's standings, the final seeds and tournament bracket will be released on Saturday, February the 21st, following the completion of all league games. The NCAC Women's Basketball Player of the Week award last week went to DePaul senior guard Hannah Douglas for the first time in her career after she scored a career-high 28 points in DPU's 62-58 overtime victory over Wittenberg on Wednesday. With the score tied at 52 following regulation, the Pendleton, Indiana native single-handedly outscored Wittenberg with 7 points in the overtime session to lead the Tigers to the 4-point victory. Douglas also added 15 points in DePaul's 64-51 victory over Kenyon on Saturday to finish the week with 43 points on 52% shooting from the field and a near-perfect 9 of 10 effort from the free throw line. With several women's tournament seeds still up for grabs, there are numerous key games on the league slate this week, highlighted by Ohio Wesleyan hosting Oberlin on Wednesday night, and then Oberlin playing host to Wittenberg on Saturday afternoon. And in men's hoops action, 23rd ranked Ohio Wesleyan has clinched at least a share of its first NCAC title since the 1987-88 national championship season after the Bishops posted a pair of wins last week over Wabash and Allegheny. And with just one more win this week, the Bishops can secure their first outright NCAC championship since the 1986-87 campaign. And like the women, the final bracket and seeds for the 2015 NCAC men's basketball tournament will be released following the completion of all league games on Saturday afternoon. And after suffering a heartbreaking 1-point loss against Ohio Wesleyan on Wednesday night, Wabash clinched a home game in the quarterfinal round of the NCAC tournament with a thrilling 68-66 triumph over Denison on Saturday in Crawfordsville. With the score tied at 66, with under 10 seconds left on the clock, senior center Marcus Camrath maneuvered his way into the lane to tip in this Kyle Eiton missed jumper to push the Little Giants to the 2-point victory. Camrath, a native of Union Mills, Indiana, collected his second double-double of the season in the game with 12 points and 14 rebounds. He also added 12 points and 9 boards in the 1-point loss against OWU on Wednesday to collect the first NCAC Player of the Week award of his career. And there are also several key games on the men's slate this week for seeding purposes, led by Wabash hosting DePaul on Wednesday and Allegheny traveling to Denison on Saturday afternoon. And as always, NCAC sports fans, for up-to-date news, stats, and standings from around the North Coast Athletic Conference, you can visit our website at www.northcoast.org. Also be sure to follow us on Twitter at NCAC, as well as like us on Facebook. Well, that puts a wrap on this week's show, but be sure to join us again next week for another edition of The Rundown.